that these are all lies and knowing that they are projections, so we go around and we tell them the truth and they don't want to hear it. All it does is cause more strife and envying amongst people. And as far as religion and stuff goes, there's words that are true and there are words that are not. And you can put them in a Bible and you can put true statements in a Bible. And just because you put them in a Bible, it doesn't make it dogma, or it doesn't make it that much more untruthful. Okay? So I don't know where the hatred for anything that's inside of those pages comes from. Because you want to throw out the baby with the bathwater like there's no truth in there. And see, that's what those that oppress us and those that manipulate us want us to do. There's an old adage that says, if you want to keep something from a black man, you put it in a book. So somebody will tell you that, oh, that one person that enslaved you and put you in chains gave you this book, throw it away, and there's nothing in it that you can use. And then people like you fall for it. And you know the truth. And you know the truth, and you heard these same things said about us, the exact same things. And now you know the truth about it. So you should know why those people were saying it. It was projection. So
what about the children? My thing was about what's happening to the children. You talking about dogma and a book, You're a man, right? You're supposed to be protecting and defending the women around you and the children around you. I'm asking you, why is God allowing children to go missing? And it's us, 70 to 80% getting experimented on. I said a whole lot, and you're talking about a book, though. So how do you feel? So why, hold on for a second. Why is a grown man? I asked you to give me 1 second, so I'm gonna give me a second, okay? Why? What do you have to say about children going missing? That's all I wanted to hear. I'm asking you, why is God allowing children to go missing and get experimented on? That's it. That's the answer that I'm waiting for you to give. You're on mute.
Go ahead, y'all.
How is God allowing anything to happen when we are responsible?
Interesting choice of words. How is God allowing anything to happen when we are in control? We are responsible, excuse me. I'm gonna repeat that back to you one more time. You said, why? Well, I can't even repeat it again. You basically just said we were responsible. And I asked you, why? What do you have to say about children going missing as a man who's supposed to be protecting and defending women and children? Hello? So now we're not.
Yeah. Yo. Not finna say nothing?
Like, what's good, bro? Okay, the thing is that he literally just said that how is God allowing anything to happen when we're the ones responsible? Are you insinuating that the reason why children is going missing is because of us? I think he's doing that on purpose.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna give you like 5 more seconds.
Exactly, he did. He just proved my point. The Christians or the religious people, y'all are gonna reach a dead end here real soon. The reparations is gonna come to a dead end. The American Indian, Black, that's coming to a dead end. Out of Africa, that's coming to a dead end. America is the motherland. That's all of it is coming to a dead end. I can promise you that. And more people are starting to question genetics.
Yep. We will all be talking about genetics and the sun and what it's doing to your genetics.
Because
everybody on the planet right now is changing.
Go ahead, y'all.
biologically. Go ahead, y'all. Though you came back, so you obviously wanted to say something.
Yeah, you would ask me, why is God letting children die? But then you said that we as humans and me as a man are responsible. So, I mean, you basically contradicted yourself. If you believe that us as men and women are responsible, how can you claim that God is allowing anything to happen? I just don't understand that. You said we are responsible, so why are
Okay,
you blaming it on God?
she's questioning on the people who believe in God. You see what I'm saying? So she's question. That's what this whole thing is about. The people who believe in God. If you believe in that God, why is He been allowing this to happen? And if we are in charge, why isn't that? I don't know what's going on with your background. And if we are in charge, why are we not talking about it? Why is that? Well, like, why is it just me, one person, or another person going live about this like every 2 months, or like why is that? Why is that going on? Why are we not all speaking about the issues that's going on with our people and our species and how we're being poisoned?
You're the creator of your reality.
That's all we're trying to get at, man.
We're in a state where we have forgotten about our children. We never believed in a God until we came in contact with these people. Frumentius brought Christianity to Ethiopia, and he had to get permission from a white man, a king and a queen, to march into Ethiopia to be able to spread Christianity. Before we came in contact with these people, we were not religious. And it puzzles me to hear our people talk about the pyramids and these megalithic structures that are not depicting that we ever practice religion. That shit blows me every day. Nothing about the megalithic structures, because it's not just pyramids, right? Ever said that we were religious people. But there's a lot of so-called Muslims that still believe that they built the pyramids. I'm like, how? How can you mix the pyramid up with religion? That doesn't make sense. So when it comes to any type of religion, thinking that power or anything, the responsibility comes from, what's the point of God then? If you're ultimately responsible, where does God come in?
That's it. There is, like, the God that they tell you in the books is the book with all these religious books was written by extraterrestrials. The God and Satan inside that book is the same person. It's the same person. That's the one who's trafficking the children. The same God that we giving praises to, Messiah, Lord, all of that means lizard king. When you date it back to Hebrew and Latin, all of that mean lizard king. Yeah. You're praising a draconian, a reptilian, for somebody who's playing God, but is just an evil scientist. That's all that's happening right now, and that's why we've been, as so-called black people, been pushed away from science, because that's who we are. Science is about the study of the natural world. We are the natural world. We are nature.
Yeah, and so that's what it is. Everything that they do, these white people, these Asians, Mexicans, Arabs, all of these people are pawns on a chessboard that are ultimately reporting back to this reptilian or the reptilians. So I know people don't want to.
Now, excuse me, can I say something now? I heard all you said, and I agree with all you said. But does that erase positive and negative forces? You don't believe in positive and negative forces. We don't even have to even open the Bible, but you don't believe in positive and negative forces and good and evil forces that are destructive and forces that promote life. You believe in that?
Good and evil comes from ethics and morality, which was also created by these people. When you're talking about positive and negative, it's not forces, it's energy. And positive and negative, in 1 second, positive and negative when it comes to energy is not good and bad. That's referring to positive charge, negative charge. Earth has a negative ionic charge. Your body has a positive ionic charge. Together, they neutralize
Yeah, like
the
I
energy.
and it
So
allows.
it's not really about good or bad. It's about high vibration, low vibration, but that's just dependent upon the energy that you choose,
Yep.
but not forces. I don't, because forces is magnetic force.
I
You see
got
what
you.
I'm saying?
I got
That's,
you.
yeah.
Negative, yeah, forces, the positive and negative forces of a magnet. Exactly. It flows from the positive to the negative. Those are the forces of a magnet. I'm following you. Okay. I'm not discounting science and I'm not discounting anything you said. But I'm saying, how can you know about science and knowing that the way that elements interact with each other? And I mean, you can discount and you really discount that there really is a battle between positive and negative forces, destructive forces and forces that are here, forces that promote, or energies that promote life and energies that want to destroy life. I mean, and you can see it. You can see those
So
of us that are high vibration and those of us that are low vibration. I mean, and it's like, I know there's things in the Bible that you don't believe, and there's things that are mixed up, and there's things that are straight up lies. But that,
Okay, so can I ask you a question? What do you believe in? What is your foundation of living? What is that? Can you explain that to us?
yeah,
my
your background is
foundation of
really
living,
loud.
Yes,
yeah, I'm
you
in
do have
a
you know what I'm
warehouse.
saying, amplified background. So, like, if you mind turning that down a little bit so the viewers and us can hear you better, brother.
Sure, sure. Just give me just a second. I got an echo. I got an echo
Mm,
in here. Yeah, I just, man, I don't, like I said, I ain't, I'm not part of no established religions, and I'm not in none of these religious cults. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person. I mean, I can eat the meat and spit out the bones. Uh, facts and opinions. Facts and opinions don't change just because you put them in the Bible. So I pick out. So I know I can see the facts in the Bible from opinions, which are so-called dogma. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, people are just ready to throw away the whole book. I know there's a whole bunch of lies and mischief and manipulation in there, but you can still pick out the facts out of all of that opinion and all of that dogma. And that's what I do. I mean, I believe you live your life, you treat people how you want to be treated,
The
and
books
I
and the
do.
doctrines and the dogmas were created to mentally program. That's the
I
reason why a
understand
lot of
that.
people that like talk about religion are also double-minded. They contradict themselves. They say one thing but they do another. They're hypocritical because what's happening is truth and the lie is trying to coexist within the same vessel and it's trying to coexist
Hmm.
within the same brain. And when that begins to happen, sulcuses begin to be created in the brain. And that's really why our people don't know whether they're coming or going. That's why you'll have people that'll dibble and dabble in every religion and they still don't know thyself. They still don't know nothing about the planet for real because people have picked and chosen the parts of their spiritual journey that are most comfortable to them instead of actually focusing on self mastery, which is what we came here to do. You came here to
Yeah, and
master yourself. And when it comes to
that's a
the
disciple.
truth, Earth is a school. So
Yes,
again,
I'm
before
with
we
you.
came in contact with these
Discipleship.
people, there was truth everywhere you walked. Now, because of
Yeah.
dogma and doctrines, you now have double-minded where you can see nature but also ignore nature. Where you can see that these people have a different integumentary system, but you still work for them. Religion was the fall of our people. So I don't look at that as a positive thing. Everything that they tell you, cartoons, movies, books, public education, food, everything has truth in it, but it's also laced with the lie. And the fact that the lie
Exactly.
exists is the reason why we don't know the truth. So why
I'm
would we
with
tell
you.
our children, why would we confuse our children with religion when we can just show them the earth and tell them about their DNA and their genetics?
yep.
Yeah, I'm with you. And it talks about, and I mean, and then when you read, it talks about a time of truth when all of these, I mean, it talks about the false prophet and the antichrist. And that's what it's talking about. These people that claim divine authority and claim that God sent them here with a message. That's what the Bible's talking about, unveiling these
Yeah,
lies.
you see
And
how
they
it's
will
a
be unveiled.
contradictory. You see how that's a
Yeah, I
contradictory
see.
because
I
all the
see.
people,
Yes, I saw it.
yeah, all the people that are saying that you just said that are following religion that are spreading that message, that was the last thing that you said I was trying to add, but that's basically what it is. But moving forward from that, yeah, go
Let me
ahead.
say something real, brother. The thing that's causing the most problems here is people that's claiming divine authority. That's what's caused the most problems on this earth. If people had just said, oh, this, and that, but no, a couple people and a couple entities said, oh, no, God crowned us to come with this. And that's what we having a problem for because they lying and saying God crowned them. And we know that's a lie. And people of scientific mind and grounded in the Holy Spirit, when you read the Bible right, you know these jokers are lying. Did nobody crown that dude and did nobody crown that other dude? We know
Yeah,
that.
but
You know what I mean?
okay, because okay, God is not a man. We never followed patriarchy. You see what I'm saying? So our divine creator is our woman. You see what I'm saying? We all stem from prokaryotic cells, and all prokaryotic cells come from stardust. And when the first stardust, like that was in space, on the first prokaryotic cells that was forming in space, decided to create a body, it became a black woman. You see what I'm saying? So that's all it is. So this is why we have to get away from religion because it's pushing patriarch.
Nothing in nature that
So
produces fruit or gives life is masculine only. Uh,
go
but go
ahead.
ahead, Sister Royal Blue Topaz. Welcome up. We'll get right back to you, y'all.
Yep.
Hey y'all, I'm sorry I missed y'all last night. I have a
Abundance.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Has, any,
abundance.
has either one of you read the Book of Enoch? We was talking about religion. I'm going back to that. This is why I'm asking that question.
Uh,
I'm not too familiar with that, me personally, but
mm-mm.
I've heard a
Okay,
lot.
okay. So the Book of Enoch was written, and it was deliberately taken out of the Bible. But when you were talking about the pyramids and the buildings and the structures that are unexplained and everything in the Book of Enoch, chapter 5, they are naming the book is now coming more popular. So they're claiming that the fallen angels, and they name out the angels that taught man the craft that he was not supposed to learn as of yet. And because he was not supposed to learn it, they are naming it witchcraft, like geometry, astrology, metalwork. It's about seven crafts, gifts that they are claiming that the fallen angels brought to the man to earth before time. Now, I said that's why I asked, that's the connection. I mean, that's the disconnect that they put in us because, like you said, we did not have a religion. There was no religion until I guess they introduced Christianity. Who did we serve?
Exactly. That religion means to rely on, and when you see every child in nature, who do they rely on the most to get their information, nutrients, vitamin, and resources? Their mother.
Huh.
The mother.
Okay. The mother. Okay. Okay.
So
So I'm
the lion cubs when they looking for their god is the lioness. That's their god. They get all of their information on how to become a lion or how to become a lioness from from the mother, genetically and biologically and psychologically.
Everything in nature learns from the mother, and she's ultimately the ultimate protector, the ultimate provider. Like a lot of the times when we hear our women today talk about matriarch, they think that it's just women just sitting on their behinds and just calling out shots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Really the hardest working person in the matriarch is the woman. Just like how you see in patriarch, the hardest working person is the man, right? He's the so-called breadwinner, but that's how we anciently were. So if a religion comes in and makes you start worshiping a man, that couldn't have been us. Because when we look at the pyramids are in the shape of our portals. So again, the pyramids align with other stars to conduct energy. So even when we look at their caves, like when I talk about like not giving these people like even the caves, because these people don't share biology or genetics with the caves either. And there are natural caves that actually mimic and look just like the so-called vaginal canal. And so everything in nature is showing you that Earth is a womb, how she expands and contracts through organ or orgasmic energy. Which is, Dr. Delbert Blair talked about that in the 70s and the 80s. So,
and all the surface land that we're walking on, the water, the underground, all comes from the Earth's core, and the Earth's core is a reflection of our women when they're pregnant. So it shows you how she's birthing continents, land masses, creatures, and different organisms to evolve the planet, to evolve the solar system.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question, Mother?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you gave me new knowledge. You gave me not to say what you didn't. I guess maybe my question wasn't clear enough then.
Go ahead.
And I'm probably going to end up answering it myself. This is the lie through religion. This is the lie that they're telling us. Because, like she said, there's a little truth in there, and but it's covered, with a lie, led with a lie. And now it's like, no. They were saying the fallen angels. Now they weren't human. And I know you've probably heard about, the oh God, what do they call them? I'm at a loss of words. I done got excited, y'all. I'm sorry. The giant, the Nephilims, all of you see what I'm saying? How they disguise what's real, how they disguise the truth in religion. That's how I'm trying to say.
I mean, there wasn't really disguising it, because again, the Bible was written by extraterrestrials. The Quran was written by all your religions was written by extraterrestrials, and these extraterrestrials are giants. These extraterrestrials are trying to play God on this planet. They're trying to claim this planet as theirs. That's why that's why they're farming us for our energy. That's why they're extracting our stem cells and red blood cells from our children who are going missing every 30 seconds. That's what's going on. So
are you asking who the fallen angels are?
Yeah, because you saying they're hiding the truth, but the Bible is hiding the truth. The truth that they're hiding is about your anatomy and how it functions with the sun. And then they have and they mask that with talking about slavery, brutal, different, atrocious activities that they do to make you have a double-minded analogy and view of life, like she was mentioning earlier.
Okay, so that's where I am.
I had a statement.
Well, yeah. Okay, hold on for a second. Let her land her plane, and then we actually got to move on to the next guest, and then we gonna go to you. So go ahead.
So to sum it all up, that's where I am. I see it, but it's like there are missing pieces that is preventing me from totally separating from, I'm not going to say religion, but biblical God, because I don't call myself religious, and truly connecting with the spiritual, side of me, because I'm still, like I said, struggling with deprogramming my thought process. So a lot of times I have a tendency to want to refer back to the Bible, and not remember. Okay, these are we talking about two separate things here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
because
land there.
you have to structure everything. So when it comes to spirituality, science is spirituality, and science is explaining how everything is interacting with itself on an esoteric and how it's meshing with the physical. So explore science, explore
Yep.
nature, explore natural science, study different branches of science, and I promise you that's going to structure. You're going to be like, oh, I remember that from the book of Enoch. Oh, I remember that from this. I remember that from that. That sounds like this. You need to just add more research, more, because what's going to happen is you're going to open more neural pathways. You're saying that you're trying to detach from that, but it's getting a little bit confusing. You're having some issues connecting dots because more light needs to come into the brain for you to be able to do that. So expound on your research and what the brain is actually taking in. Watch documentaries about the earth. Even if you do prehistorical documentaries on the Book of Enoch, documentaries on the different what's the word, mythological creatures that are talked about in there, Greek mythology. Just don't rush, take your time, explore something new every day, because that's what we do. That's how we're able to connect the dots with so many different things, because we never stay stuck in one thing.
Yep.
Sometimes I'm reading 5 books at once, and I just jump in between them, and it keeps my brain sharp. It keeps me connecting dots. So I hope that helps.
You got to study yourself. You got to know thyself.
Go ahead, Cheslin.
Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for having me on. I wanted to hit on 2 things real quick too, because I really appreciate you guys speaking about the goddess aspect of things, and I feel like a lot of people they don't really try to understand that as much, because they are kind of stuck in the whole God is a man, the whole male system runs everything, and also what she said about the Book of Enoch, which I want to go ahead and touch on first, because it'd be quicker for me to do that. In the Book of Enoch, when they speak about the fallen angels, for whatever reason they choose to call them the fallen, they were never high up above looking down upon us, watching us. They were actually made to be amongst us. And that's how they end up falling for women. And a thing that people really misunderstand, because I hear some people talk about, in the Book of Enoch, they talk about, when people are talking about Tartaria, and people get stuck in that whole little system with that. They're like, God told the angels to put the devil in Tartarus, and that's a lie, because that's not in there. He says, he names out a specific desert to take them to, and to put them in the pit. And he uses Michael and Raphael. And the thing that people don't understand is a lot of people get stuck on Satan, they get stuck on Lucifer. They never talk about them in the Book of Enoch. They're talking about Azrael, Azazel, because Azazel, he's the head. He's the one that this creator mindset gets to handle the souls. And so Azazel is the one who leads the 200 with him that are on earth. So when he tells Michael and Raphael, he tells them to go get Azazel and to go get another one who is Azazel's second in command. And that's because they've been amongst people. They've seen how people are kind of, I guess, lost in an aspect, but at the same time, they built their own mindset of how they feel humans should be handled, how humans should be dealt with. And so they feel like the creator, and I don't feel like the creator in the Old Testament is the real creator, just because it does have that man mindset. It lacks the feminine vibration altogether. That God is very um, set up to kind of force people's hand to do what he wishes. They say, you shouldn't kill, steal, destroy, all that stuff like that. But he's telling the people, hey, I want you to go kill these people. He tells the people,
Hey, okay,
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
you gotta talk with
They say, what is the word
yeah,
I'm supposed to use? Unalive people.
no lie.
He tells them that, hey, I've got this land for you in this area, and this is for my chosen people. But when the chosen people get there, there's people already on the land. So then he's like, I want you to go in and
Okay, I'm gonna have to cut you there, brother, because
what I'm
the book
saying
of
is
E. Yeah,
you
go ahead and land your plane. Let me
what I'm
not
saying
cut you off. Go ahead and land your plane, man.
when you look at the female aspect of it, the female aspect, and I'm jumping on what you guys were saying about the goddess aspect now. The goddess aspect is set up to where when who looks for the home first? The female. When a bird needs to nest, when she's getting ready to have her babies, she builds the nest. When a wolf is getting ready to have her babies, she has to go find shelter because she needs to have them in a safe place, and then she needs to have them in a place to where when she's going out and she's looking for food for them, they can have a safe place to be where they don't have to worry about enemies coming to destroy them. The feminine aspect is lost on us so much because we're taught that woman is second to man, and we have a whole system that pushes women to the back. When the mother goddess aspect, like you said, they are not how they say you'll have some of these idols that she's about war. You said it, you hit it right on the head when you said she's a protector. She is not about war. She's not trying to fight. She's not trying to do any of that, but she will protect her own. And if she has to fight for that, she will. When you have and before they destroyed Chicago, you had the Diana statue. The Diana statue is holding the flag, but her flag is not unfurled because she's not trying to press herself upon the world that she wants to fight. She's letting them know that she's about peace. And I feel like if once people get into the mindset that we need to follow the goddess aspect, we need to um, do like Tupac said. We need to be real for our women. We need to heal our women because if we don't, we are literally creating a race of babies who hate the ladies. And men can't make them, but they keep trying to tell women what they need to do, how to create them, when to create them. And you have a lot of these homosexual males who women support men in everything. And yet you don't have any of these men supporting women at all. Women have lost the right to be able to choose what to do with their own bodies. And you don't see any men sitting up here saying, let's go march and get our women's rights back. But as soon as men want to go march for something just as ignorant as they want they want to have drag days, women are still right there with them. And I feel like once we get to a place where we put women back on the level that they're supposed to be, then I feel like things for us in general will start to change. But I feel like that's our karmic issue and our karmic debt that we're missing out on. And until we hit that point, that's when things will start to change for us. But until we actually do start to support our women, nothing's going to change because we're not trying to put our leaders back in the position where they should be.
Okay, and we do that through science. We do that through learning science. You see what I'm saying? I appreciate that you said that. You know what I'm saying? What you were saying at the end there, that's facts. You see what I'm saying?
What parts
Until
of science
this,
do you believe?
okay, go ahead, bro.
No, I'm just asking you a question. What parts of science do you believe that we need to learn as far as, getting up on that?
The word science means study of the natural world. So all fields of science is studying the natural world from microscopic level all the way to macroscopic level. You should be learning all of that. They're learning you. When scientists say they're just found their learnings about something, they're learning you. They're learning something about the planet, they're learning you. They learn something about a tree, they're learning you. They learn something about a rock, about the water, they're learning you. You see what I'm saying? When like
Do
the
you have one that? Do you have any
okay,
science right
all
now
right.
that stands
I'm
out?
trying to also talk about the things that you've been saying this whole time because
Oh, no, I
Our
want to ask
our
you. I
people.
want to ask
All
you
right, man.
which
God
one do you feel
damn.
stands out the most. No, I'm asking you which one do you feel like stands out the most to you when it comes to science? Like right now, what do you feel like is the most important thing? Do you feel like when they're talking about genes and splicing, do you feel like it's magical?
Yes, embryology, DNA, genetics, and biology. You need to be studying that and how it correlates to cosmology and astrophysics.
Okay.
You need to be knowing that because our children don't need to be knowing about what Tupac said when he started doing other things beside what he said about the ladies, right?
Right.
So we need to when we study our cells, when we study prokaryotic cells, they will keep doing the same function for eons and eons of years. So we need to be teaching them about that and keep them in an immortal timeline. We don't want to. That's all I'm talking about. We need to be educating our own children. We need to medically evaluate our own children. We need to guide our own children. We don't need another species to police us. We don't need another species to be on this planet when they're unnatural.
What you
So
say
the
is
way we do that is by learning nature, science. The way we put our women back on the throne is by enlightening her with science, not
Understanding her
enlightening
body.
her. Yeah, not giving her drinks, not giving her drugs, or you know what I'm saying. F1 in the chat, but not giving her those type of things. You need to give her light, information, because that's when you see her at her most basic state, an electron, her most smallest state. What is she passing with other electrons? Light, information, science.
Really
So
taking the time out to understand earth science too as well, because you're in a womb,
yeah,
and if you want to understand how to actually treat and be the man that you're supposed to be for the divine feminine, then you need to understand femininity. You need to understand the feminine brain. You need to understand feminine biology, feminine anatomy, because
yeah,
that's where all of your genetics come from, is from her. mtDNA, everything about you comes from the mother. 2.8 times larger in size when it comes to our biology. So everything about your biology, even just understanding it, would naturally come from her. Everything about her cells, the egg cell, excuse me, the totipidin stem cell is almost three times the size of, or actually it's 12 to 15 times the size of what, the sperm, right? A sperm cell, 12 to 15 times the size. So that's just important. The lions learn from the lioness. Um, so yeah, everything. I say everything. I say learn all science,
when you say
all of
we
it.
when you say
yeah.
everything we have to learn, are you meaning we as in melanated people versus people with the Neanderthal?
And this is why I say start with DNA. This is
No,
why I said start with DNA. No, hold on for a second. I'm not
I'm
coming
using
at
my
you.
degree in
Hold on.
business.
Oh my gosh, bro. I'm not coming
You
at
keep
you.
saying,
I'm
"Oh my
just trying
God,"
to
I'm
enlighten
asking you a
you.
question. I'm asking you. I'm not interrupting you to butt in. I'm trying to ask you one thing to understand
You
something. So please stop saying, "Oh my God." That's
you
all.
already asked us a question, and then as soon as I start answering the question, you have another question in the middle of me answering it.
You said
So
we.
you was just
I don't
saying
understand. Does we
you
mean
said
black
does
people?
that apply to melanated people? And I started to answer that question, and then you started to ask another question. Did that just not happen?
Yes, that's what I was doing.
Okay
But
then,
I
so
was
what you
asking.
talking about, brother? So hold on for a second. That's why I said to study your DNA. Your DNA is the type of melanin that you possess. That's all I'm trying to tell you. And there's different types of melanin out there. There's 8 types, 5 that are natural and 3 that are unnatural. You see what I'm saying? And so-called black people, we have neuromelanin. We don't have EU melanin, allomelanin, pyomelanin, uh, um, pheomelanin. We don't have that, nor do we have vitrosynthetic eumelanin, pheomelanin, or neuromelanin. We don't have none of that. We have natural neuromelanin, which is condensed sunlight. So this pertains to all neuromelanated people around the planet. So science, cells, is where you need to start at. Cells and DNA.
He's just trying to tell you that everything on the planet has melanin. So when you say melanated people, that's everybody.
Yeah.
That's just the short answer to what he just said. So we're not trying to be facetious. We just want to express to our people how particular we are compared to these people, how we're really not the same. And the way that to understand that is understanding that these people don't even have the same melanin as you. Ants have melanin, bees have melanin, butterflies, elephants, lions all have melanin. Everything on the globe that's living, microorganisms have pyomelanin, right? So that's what the point he was trying to make. Yah, did you have something else that you wanted to say? Thank you for your patience, and then we'll get back to Sheslin. You're on mute.
Yeah. I was just saying earlier that, I mean, you guys laid out, everything, and I'm just, you're right with the right way forward is education. Truth shall set you free. And that's what I was, saying at first. I mean, you guys know the truth, and you guys know that the lies were told about our people. And knowing that truth, it dispels a lot of the stereotypical stuff and a lot of the ugly stuff that they used to say about us, because y'all know the truth. Now, on the other end, putting the truth out there, of course, people don't like the truth, but where am I getting at? Okay, so, and a galactic force, you know what I mean? Basically, let's be real, let's be scientific here. We're a people and we're up against a galactic force from we don't know where. So do you actually think that we're going to fight against this galactic force, or do we have people of like mind, like us, that are, high vibrational, that will, fight on our behalf, not do all the fighting, but fight on our behalf, because we're going up against a
pull up something.
Okay, when you say galactic, everything is that. You're the galactic force. That's why I know what you're trying to say, but the thing is, I know what you're trying to say, and I'm trying to give you the real while I tell it to you all at the same time, because you got to dismantle the way that you think to understand the answer that I'm giving you. You're the galactic force. Reptilians are a galactic force. They're prokaryotes. They are a prokaryotic organism. The thing is you yourself, just like you just said earlier, we're not taking the responsibility. So you got to understand the fight. The war is on your biochemistry and children. So how do you actually fight back is by you gaining knowledge of self to give it to the next generation. Earth and the sun is already shutting this shit down. The underground tunnels are being exposed. Epstein files is coming out. Terrestrial radiation, UVC radiation, has been ground level since 2015. Weather anomalies are amping up all over the planet. The dollar has no value to it. There's 220 countries plus with no money. The whole system is being shut down if you pay attention. White people, Dravidians, Asian people are no longer reproducing. So the fight that you're talking about is already being had. We never stop fighting. It's not going to be a fight that happens like June 4th, 2036. It's not a date. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how people think about it. The fight is every single day right now as you're listening to me. The fact that they can advise you things through the algorithm, that's a mental fight. The fact that they have you paying for water, that's the fight. So we just have to understand that, like, it's a war on everything. And until you understand everything, you're not going to really be able to really perform the way that you need. There's already brothers and sisters that are in a higher frequency than we are that's shutting this down. We're the ones that's just not doing it because we're in a low frequency.
And what she was saying about UVC radiation, that's been ground level since 2015. These are radio waves. You see what I'm saying? Radio waves are sound that carry light messages within them. And sound and light are the only thing that can change our DNA. You see what I'm saying? That comes from a primordial source like the sun. So this UVC radiation that's been coming down to the planet has been changing everything down here on the planet's biological state, whether you're prokaryotic or eukaryotic. And if you're a prokaryotic cell organism, this UVC radiation is evolving you. It's unlocking more dormant genetics because we are only using 3 to 5% of our brain. You see what I'm saying? And these light messages are going to start more circuitry inside of your brain to where you unlock more different parts of your brain. And if you unlock more different parts of your brain, you have extra sensory perception. You have mental clarity. You can make clear, concise decisions. Your mind aligns with your decisions now. You see what I'm saying? And I want to mention how you was talking about, I know that we have to do it ourselves. You see what I'm saying? But then say, I don't follow a religion, but then say, isn't there somebody else who's going to come save us, who's going to come do something? You see what I'm saying? That's the double-mindedness that my other, hold on for a second. That's the double-mindedness that my other half was talking about. Because you're still really in fear. And the reason why you're in fear is because you don't understand your opponent. You don't understand your enemy. Mm-hmm. And who's really your and you would think your enemy is the reptilians, the enemy is the white people, the Asian people, Arabs. You would think that, but the enemy is the person you look in the mirror. That's the enemy. That's the one who's having internal conflict of letting the system go. Because I have here on the screen, the reptilians are categorized as non-warriors, preferring scientific manipulation over direct combat. And this is from a book called Dark Fleet. You see what I'm saying? A Nazi secret space program of how they didn't unalive 6 million Jews. They actually brainwashed them with Hitler, with Mustache Man. And they came over here and infiltrated the U.S. government's military and then went all across all of the land masses and produced diseases. You see what I'm saying? This is what's been going on. And these are reptilians doing this in suits. So I just wanted to say here that they using scientific manipulation. The scientific manipulation is what? The white people that we see today, the Asian people that we see today, the Arabs that we see today, your fruits and vegetables that are hybridized in the grocery store, the vaccines. That's all scientific manipulation. So what you and they're not forcing you to take it, to take any of these things. You are waking up every day and you're going to choose to go eat a hamburger. So you're waking up every day and going to say, I don't feel so well today. Let me go to the doctor. While you're walking past all the dandelions, you're walking past all the echinacea flowers that the mother grew for you because she received your distress signals due to your photonic emission. And you completely ignored that and went to the hospital anyway. We still send our children to get taught by animals in school when we can easily look up the etymology of school, which means skole, which means to keep clear from the truth. So why would we send them to a place like that when Earth is really the place where they need to be learning at? So
the short answer, they're scientifically manipulating everything, and we think it's a physical fight. And they're telling you they don't even do physical combat. Yep. That's why we don't see them.
That's why you never see them. They're in the
background. These are your mad scientists, the people that's writing the Bible. See, it's about chemistry. It's stopping the neurotransmitters from communicating like they're supposed to. Because you got to understand, you're the galactic force.